In the endless void of space, a colossal ship drifts through the cosmos, carrying the remnants of humanity. Once, they called Earth home, but now it is gone, reduced to ash and memory. These wanderers search for salvation among the stars, their journey fraught with peril, hope, and secrets buried deep within their vessel's labyrinthine corridors. Will they find a new beginning or succumb to the infinite silence? Prepare to embark on an epic odyssey across galaxies where survival comes at a cost no one could have imagined. Subscribe now to uncover the fate of the last Earthborn. The colossal spacecraft known as Ian's Refuge floated silently in the black expanse of space, its surface glinting faintly under the distant light of unnamed suns. It was not merely a ship, it was a city, a sanctuary, and perhaps even a tomb for those who had fled the cataclysm that consumed their homeworld. Humanity's final bastion stretched over kilometers, bristling with solar panels, communication arrays, and life support systems designed to sustain thousands indefinitely. Yet despite its grandeur, there was something haunting about the vessel, a sense of impermanence, of borrowed time. The hum of machinery echoed through its metallic veins, blending seamlessly with the whispers of despair carried by the wind tunnels inside. Life aboard, Ian's Refuge, followed a rhythm dictated by necessity rather than choice. Each day began with the soft chime of artificial dawn flooding communal chambers, signaling the start of another cycle. People moved like shadows through narrow hallways lined with flickering lights, their faces pale from years spent beneath manufactured skies. Children played in cramped quarters repurposed into makeshift classrooms, learning stories of a world most would never see. Elders huddled around holographic maps plotting potential destinations, their eyes clouded with doubt, yet burning with determination. For every generation born aboard this wandering ark, Earth remained both myth and memory, an unattainable dream passed down through whispered tales and faded photographs. The crew operated with mechanical precision, maintaining the fragile ecosystem that kept them alive. Hydroponic gardens thrived in dimly lit chambers, producing just enough food to stave off starvation. Engineers scoured salvaged parts from derelict satellites and abandoned stations, piecing together solutions to problems that seemed insurmountable. Medical bays buzzed with activity as doctors worked tirelessly to combat illnesses bred by prolonged exposure to zero gravity and recycled air. And then there were the navigators, poring over star charts and ancient databases, searching for planets capable of supporting human life. Their work defined the collective purpose of everyone aboard, finding a new home before the ship itself became their eternal prison. Yet beneath this veneer of order lay cracks threatening to splinter the foundation of their existence. Supplies dwindled faster than anticipated, forcing rationing measures that sparked tensions among passengers. Arguments erupted in crowded mess halls, fueled by hunger and exhaustion. Rumors spread like wildfire, painting grim futures where no habitable planet awaited them. Some spoke of mutiny against the council overseeing operations, while others advocated abandoning the mission altogether and seeking refuge on barren moons. Fear gnawed at the edges of sanity, whispering doubts into ears already burdened by loss. But amidst the chaos, a stubborn resilience persisted, a refusal to surrender to despair when so much hung in the balance. As days turned into months, the weight of uncertainty pressed harder upon the shoulders of those aboard. Every system failure, every malfunctioning module served as a reminder of how precarious their situation truly was. Yet they endured, driven by the faint hope that somewhere beyond the next nebula or asteroid field lay salvation. They clung to the belief that humanity's story did not end with Earth's destruction, that destiny still held chapters unwritten, waiting to be discovered among the stars. The origins of Ian's Refuge traced back to a time when Earth teetered on the brink of collapse. Decades of environmental degradation, resource depletion, and political instability culminated in catastrophic events that rendered vast swathes of the planet uninhabitable. Governments scrambled to implement emergency protocols, launching initiatives aimed at preserving what remained of civilization. Among these efforts stood Project Exodus, a bold plan conceived during humanity's darkest hour. Its architects envisioned a fleet of interstellar vessels capable of ferrying survivors to distant worlds deemed suitable for colonization. However, funding constraints and technological limitations forced compromises, leaving only one fully operational craft, Ian's Refuge Dash. Built in secret within an underground facility nestled deep within the Arctic Circle, the ship represented humanity's last gamble. Engineers worked around the clock, utilizing cutting-edge advancements in propulsion, artificial gravity, and sustainable living technologies. The design incorporated modular sections allowing for expansion and adaptation based on unforeseen challenges encountered during long-term voyages. Each component underwent rigorous testing, ensuring maximum reliability under extreme conditions. Yet even with meticulous planning, doubts lingered regarding whether such a venture could succeed given the scale of devastation wrought upon Earth. When the inevitable occurred, a cascade of natural disasters exacerbated by nuclear exchanges, the evacuation process unfolded chaotically. Millions perished in the initial onslaught, while countless others succumbed to radiation poisoning or starvation in the aftermath. Those fortunate enough to secure passage aboard Ian's Refuge found themselves thrust into unfamiliar territory, grappling with emotions ranging from relief to survivor's guilt. As engines roared to life and the ship ascended skyward, leaving behind a shattered world cloaked in smoke and fire, many wept openly, mourning all they left behind. Once safely ensconced in orbit, reality set in. Resources proved scarcer than anticipated, necessitating immediate rationing policies. Conflicts arose between factions vying for control over decision-making processes, leading to power struggles that threatened cohesion among passengers. Leaders emerged organically, individuals respected for their wisdom, courage, or sheer force of will. A governing body known as the Council formed, tasked with steering the ship toward potential havens identified via preliminary scans conducted prior to departure. Despite internal strife, unity gradually took root, forged through shared adversity and mutual dependence. Over time, routines established themselves, creating semblances of normalcy amid extraordinary circumstances. Education programs resumed, teaching children skills essential for survival should they ever reach terra firma again. Cultural traditions resurfaced, celebrated with renewed vigor as reminders of heritage clinging tenaciously to existence. Art flourished in unexpected ways, transforming dull metal walls into canvases depicting visions of hope and renewal. Music filled corridors once silent save for mechanical whirring, providing solace and inspiration alike. Slowly but surely, life aboard Ian's Refuge evolved beyond mere subsistence, blossoming into something resembling society reborn amidst cosmic desolation. Life aboard Ian's Refuge was a delicate balance of survival and adaptation. The ship's hydroponic gardens became the heart of daily existence, their lush greenery a stark contrast to the cold, metallic surroundings. Crew members tended to rows of leafy vegetables and nutrient-rich algae, their hands stained with soil substitutes as they worked tirelessly to meet the ever-growing demand for food. Yet, no matter how much they harvested, it never seemed enough. Rationing had become a way of life, with meals carefully measured to ensure everyone received their share. Hunger gnawed not just at stomachs but at tempers, sparking arguments that echoed through the narrow corridors. Still, the gardens were more than just a source of sustenance. They were a symbol of resilience, a reminder that life could flourish even in the harshest conditions. Beyond the gardens, the engineering bay buzzed with activity. Technicians pored over schematics, repairing malfunctioning systems, and scavenging parts from decommissioned modules. Every broken component was a potential crisis, every delay a step closer to disaster. The ship's aging reactors groaned under the strain, their output fluctuating dangerously. Engineers worked around the clock, their faces illuminated by the glow of diagnostic screens as they fought to keep the vessel operational. Despite their efforts, the specter of failure loomed large. Each system failure brought whispers of doom, yet the crew pressed on, driven by the knowledge that giving up meant certain death. Amid the chaos, moments of quiet reflection offered fleeting solace. Passengers gathered in communal spaces, sharing stories of Earth and dreams of what lay ahead. Some spoke of oceans and forests, others of bustling cities and quiet countryside. These conversations wove a tapestry of memory and hope, binding the community together in ways no policy or directive ever could. For all its hardships, life aboard Ian's Refuge was not without beauty. The hum of machinery became a lullaby, the faint glow of distant stars a promise of something greater beyond the horizon. The navigator's chamber was the nerve center of Ian's Refuge Dash, a dimly lit room filled with holographic projections of star systems and planetary data. Here, the ship's course was plotted with painstaking precision, each decision weighed against the slim odds of finding a habitable world. The team worked tirelessly, analyzing atmospheric compositions, gravitational fields, and temperature ranges. Their task was monumental: to sift through countless possibilities and identify a planet capable of sustaining human life. Yet, as weeks turned into months, frustration mounted. Promising leads often dissolved into disappointment upon closer inspection, leaving the crew disheartened but undeterred. Each discovery reignited hope, however fleeting. A planet with breathable air and liquid water would send ripples of excitement through the ship, only for subsequent scans to reveal lethal radiation levels or toxic ecosystems. The cycle of anticipation and despair took its toll, chipping away at morale. Still, the navigators refused to give up. They pored over ancient databases salvaged from Earth, cross-referencing them with real-time data collected during the journey. Every anomaly was scrutinized, every possibility explored. Their work was a testament to humanity's unyielding spirit, a refusal to accept defeat in the face of overwhelming odds. As the search continued, the ship's trajectory shifted constantly, weaving through asteroid fields and skirting the edges of nebulae. The journey was fraught with peril, yet also wonder. Passengers gathered at observation decks to witness the breathtaking beauty of the cosmos: swirling galaxies, radiant supernovae, and shimmering comets. These moments of awe reminded them why they endured, why they pushed forward despite the odds. In the vastness of space, they found both danger and inspiration, a paradox that defined their existence. Time aboard Ian's Refuge blurred into an endless cycle of routine and uncertainty. Days stretched into weeks, then months, marked only by the artificial rhythms of the ship's internal clocks. Without the natural cues of sunrise and sunset, passengers struggled to maintain a sense of normalcy. Sleep schedules shifted, and fatigue became a constant companion. The lack of sunlight took its toll, leaving many pale and lethargic. Medical bays overflowed with cases of depression and anxiety, symptoms of confinement and isolation. Yet, amidst the gloom, small victories emerged. A child's laughter echoing through the halls, a successful harvest in the gardens, or the completion of a critical repair job, all served as reminders that life persisted, even in the most unlikely places. Education became a cornerstone of daily life, ensuring that future generations would carry the torch of knowledge. Teachers improvised lessons using whatever materials were available, turning recycled scraps into tools for learning. Children studied mathematics, science, and history, their textbooks outdated but still valuable. Stories of Earth's achievements and failures were passed down, instilling a sense of responsibility for the future. Art and music flourished, providing outlets for creativity and expression. Murals adorned the walls, depicting visions of hope and renewal, while melodies drifted through the corridors, offering comfort and connection. Despite these efforts, cracks began to form in the social fabric. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, fueled by dwindling resources and the weight of unfulfilled promises. Arguments erupted over ration allocations, maintenance priorities, and leadership decisions. Some called for drastic measures, advocating for risky maneuvers or abandoning the search altogether. Others clung to the belief that perseverance would eventually yield results. The council mediated disputes, striving to maintain order, but their authority was increasingly questioned. Loyalties fractured, alliances shifted, and trust grew fragile. Yet, even in the face of division, a shared purpose remained: a determination to survive, to find a new home among the stars. The ship's archives were a treasure trove of knowledge, containing everything from technical manuals to cultural artifacts salvaged from Earth. Historians and archivists worked tirelessly to preserve this legacy, digitizing documents and cataloging items for future generations. Among the treasures were recordings of music, literature, and art, pieces of humanity's soul captured in digital form. These relics served as a bridge to the past, grounding passengers in their identity and heritage. Yet, they also raised questions about the future. What aspects of Earth's culture would endure? Which traditions would evolve or fade away entirely? The archives became a sanctuary for those seeking solace. Passengers spent hours poring over photographs, letters, and videos, connecting with a world they had never known. For some, it was a painful reminder of what had been lost. For others, it was a source of inspiration. The stories of Earth's triumphs and tragedies shaped their understanding of humanity's resilience. Lessons learned from history informed decisions made aboard the ship, guiding the community toward solutions rooted in collective wisdom. Yet, the archives also held secrets. Buried within their depths were classified files detailing Earth's final days, the political machinations, environmental catastrophes, and technological failures that led to its downfall. These documents painted a grim picture, one that many preferred to ignore. But for a select few, they served as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the consequences of hubris and neglect. As the journey continued, these insights influenced discussions about governance, resource management, and the kind of society they hoped to build on their new home. As the ship ventured deeper into uncharted territory, the crew encountered phenomena that defied explanation. A massive debris field stretched across their path, littered with fragments of ancient spacecraft and strange, crystalline structures that shimmered faintly in the starlight. The navigators debated whether to detour around it or investigate further, weighing the risks against the potential rewards. Curiosity eventually won out, and a team was dispatched to explore the wreckage using remote drones equipped with sensors and cameras. What they discovered sent shockwaves through the ship. Among the ruins were remnants of technology far more advanced than anything humanity had ever created: smooth metallic alloys, energy signatures unlike any known power source, and inscriptions etched in an alien script. Some believed these artifacts belonged to a long-extinct civilization, while others speculated they might be evidence of intelligent life still thriving somewhere in the galaxy. The implications were staggering, raising questions about humanity's place in the universe and whether they were truly alone. The findings reignited hope among passengers, fueling discussions about reverse engineering the alien tech to improve Ian's refuge systems. Engineers eagerly dissected the recovered components, marveling at their complexity. However, progress was slow, hindered by the sheer unfamiliarity of the materials and mechanisms. Meanwhile, tensions simmered as factions argued over how best to utilize the discovery. Should they focus on survival or gamble on unlocking the secrets of this mysterious technology? The debate divided the community, testing the fragile unity that had held them together thus far. Amid the excitement surrounding the alien artifacts, a new crisis emerged. The ship's life support systems began showing signs of strain, their filters clogged with microscopic particles collected during the debris field exploration. Air quality deteriorated rapidly, forcing the crew to implement emergency protocols. Passengers donned respirator masks, and children were confined to sealed quarters to minimize exposure. Engineers worked frantically to clean and repair the damaged equipment, but the process was painstakingly slow. The situation worsened when reports surfaced of contaminated water supplies. Hydroponic crops started wilting, threatening the already precarious food supply. Panic spread like wildfire, with some accusing the exploratory team of prioritizing curiosity over safety. Accusations flew in crowded mess halls, and tempers flared. The council convened an emergency meeting, urging calm while scrambling to address the growing list of problems. Morale plummeted, replaced by fear and frustration. Yet, Amidst the chaos, acts of quiet heroism emerged. Volunteers stepped forward to assist with repairs, sacrificing sleep and personal time to ensure the ship remained operational. Medical staff tended to those affected by poor air quality, administering treatments and offering words of reassurance. Slowly, order began to restore itself, though not without scars. The incident served as a stark reminder of just how fragile their existence was. A single misstep could spell disaster for all aboard. Weeks later, as the ship limped away from the debris field, another anomaly appeared on the navigator's screens. A faint, rhythmic signal emanating from a nearby star system. At first, skepticism reigned. Could it be interference from stellar activity, or perhaps a malfunction in their own instruments? But repeated scans confirmed its artificial origin. The signal pulsed steadily, almost like a beacon, drawing them inexorably closer. Speculation ran rampant throughout. Ian's refuge dash. Was it a distress call from another stranded vessel? An invitation? Or a warning from an unknown intelligence? The council deliberated for days before deciding to investigate, aware of the risks but unable to ignore the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial life. Preparations were made with meticulous care, including arming security teams and programming drones to scout ahead. When they reached the source of the signal, what they found left them awestruck. Orbiting a dying red dwarf star was a derelict space station, its surface pockmarked with age and decay. Strange symbols glowed faintly along its hull, pulsing in sync with the transmission. As drones explored the interior, they uncovered chambers filled with dormant machinery and holographic records awaiting activation. It was clear that whoever, or whatever, had built this station possessed knowledge far beyond human comprehension. The decision to board the station was fraught with tension. While some saw it as a chance to unlock groundbreaking technologies, others feared triggering traps or awakening something better left undisturbed. After much debate, a small team was assembled, composed of engineers, scientists, and security personnel. Armed with tools and caution, they crossed the threshold into the alien structure. Inside, the air was thick with dust and silence, broken only by the faint hum of residual energy. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings depicting celestial bodies and abstract patterns, hinting at a culture deeply connected to the cosmos. Holographic displays flickered to life as the team activated control panels, revealing streams of data encoded in the alien script. Linguists worked feverishly to decipher the language, piecing together fragments of information about the station's purpose. It became apparent that the facility had once served as a repository of knowledge, a library of sorts, containing vast archives of scientific discoveries, philosophical musings, and historical accounts. Yet, there were also warnings scattered throughout, cryptic references to a great collapse and the dangers of unchecked ambition. The team grew uneasy, sensing that they were treading on sacred ground. Despite their unease, the allure of the station's secrets proved irresistible, driving them deeper into its labyrinthine corridors. Back aboard, Ian's refuge dash, divisions deepened as news of the station's content spread. Some viewed the alien knowledge as humanity's salvation, a means to overcome their current struggles and secure a brighter future. Others saw it as a Pandora's box, cautioning against tampering with forces they couldn't fully understand. Debates turned heated, with accusations of recklessness and cowardice flying between opposing sides. Meanwhile, the exploration team unearthed something even more extraordinary: a map detailing habitable planets within reachable distance. One entry stood out, a world described in glowing terms, with ideal conditions for sustaining life. The coordinates matched none of the systems previously identified by the navigators, suggesting it had been deliberately omitted from earlier databases. Hope surged anew, tempered by lingering doubts about the map's authenticity and the intentions of its creators. The council faced mounting pressure to act, torn between pursuing the promising lead and addressing growing unrest aboard the ship. Supplies continued to dwindle, and morale remained fragile. Every delay increased the risk of mutiny, Yet rushing headlong into the unknown carried its own perils. In the end, pragmatism prevailed. They would set course for the planet, but preparations would proceed cautiously, ensuring the ship was as ready as possible for whatever lay ahead. The journey to the newfound planet tested the limits of Ian's refuge and its inhabitants. Systems strained under prolonged use, requiring constant vigilance from engineers. Crew members worked double shifts, their exhaustion evident in sunken eyes and trembling hands. Passengers banded together, forming makeshift support networks to share burdens and bolster spirits. Stories of resilience echoed through the corridors, reminding everyone why they endured. As they approached their destination, anticipation reached a fever pitch. Telescopic arrays captured images of lush continents bordered by azure oceans, their surfaces dotted with vibrant vegetation. Preliminary scans indicated breathable air, stable climates, and abundant resources. For the first time in years, laughter rang out spontaneously, unbidden tears of joy streaming down weathered faces. The promise of a new beginning seemed tantalizingly close. But doubts lingered. What if the planet harbored hidden dangers? Could they trust the alien map, or was it a lure designed to ensnare unsuspecting travelers? These questions gnawed at the edges of celebration, tempering euphoria with caution. Still, the decision was made to send a landing party, equipped with every tool and safeguard available. Their mission was simple yet monumental: determine whether this world could truly become their home. The descent to the planet's surface was nerve-wracking, each second stretching into eternity as the shuttle pierced dense cloud layers. When they finally touched down, the sight that greeted them took their breath away. Rolling plains stretched toward distant mountains, their slopes cloaked in verdant forests. Streams meandered lazily through the landscape, reflecting sunlight in dazzling hues. Birds, or creatures resembling birds, soared overhead, their melodic calls filling the air. Initial tests confirmed the planet's suitability for human habitation. Soil samples revealed nutrient-rich Earth capable of supporting agriculture, while atmospheric readings matched Earth's composition almost perfectly. The landing party ventured further, cataloging flora and fauna, testing water sources, and establishing rudimentary shelters. Each discovery reinforced the belief that they had found their sanctuary. Yet, beneath the surface beauty lurked unsettling anomalies. Strange patterns carved into rock formations suggested prior habitation, though no signs of recent activity were evident. Sensor readings occasionally spiked, hinting at subterranean structures or energy sources. The team pressed on, driven by the weight of expectations back aboard the ship. They knew their findings would shape humanity's future, for better or worse. News of the planet's viability spread quickly, igniting a mix of relief and apprehension among passengers. Plans for colonization began in earnest, with committees formed to oversee logistics, resource allocation, and governance. Decisions once postponed indefinitely now demanded immediate attention. Who would lead? How would disputes be resolved? What principles would guide their new society? Tensions flared as differing visions clashed. Some advocated for strict hierarchies, arguing efficiency was paramount in such a fragile environment. Others championed egalitarian ideals, insisting equality was essential to avoid repeating Earth's mistakes. Debates spilled into public forums, passions running high as individuals grappled with the enormity of their task. Through it all, a core truth emerged. Humanity's greatest challenge lay not in surviving the stars, but in forging a community worthy of their new home. Preparations accelerated, with crews modifying shuttles for mass transport and assembling prefabricated habitats. Supplies were inventoried, rationed carefully to ensure sustainability during the transition. Excitement mingled with trepidation as the day of departure drew near. For many, leaving Ian's refuge behind felt like closing a chapter of their lives, a bittersweet farewell to the vessel that had carried them through so much. The first settlers stepped onto the planet's soil with reverence, their boots sinking slightly into soft grass. Tears flowed freely as they knelt to touch the earth, feeling its warmth seep into their palms. Children laughed as they chased butterflies, their voices carrying on the breeze. Elders planted seeds brought from the ship's gardens, symbolically sowing the future alongside the past. Challenges remained: building infrastructure, adapting to local ecosystems, and navigating the lingering mysteries of the planet. But hope burned brightly. The lessons learned aboard Ian's refuge guided their efforts, reminding them of the strength found in unity and perseverance. Slowly, a new society took shape, rooted in gratitude for the second chance they'd been given. In the quiet moments, when the bustle of construction faded and the stars shone overhead, people gathered to share stories. Tales of Earth's triumphs and tragedies intertwined with dreams of what this world might become. And though uncertainty still loomed, one thing was certain: humanity's story was far from over. It had merely begun anew, written not in the ashes of destruction, but in the fertile soil of possibility. Will you join us on this journey across the stars? Subscribe now to witness the rise of a new chapter in humanity's odyssey.